For project introduction, our report focus on site clearing, setup platform of piling machine, setting on pile position, installation of reinforced concrete, cut of pile, starter bar, pile cap, stump, ground beam and ground slab. Cleaning the construction site includes dismantling or destroying the construction site and selling material from a demolished building. Site preparation, installation, testing, test drill, landfills, leveling, ground leveling, excavation, land drainage and other land preparation. This includes site clearance, leaving such as structure for pile driving. The pile is driven into the ground without prior excavation. Historically, the oldest technique of using a pile and the technique most usually used today is with the aid of using a hammer. No doubt, the earliest bearing piles have been built with the aid of using hand, the usage of a timber mallet of a few sort. Setting up is done with the connection with grid traces. When the grid traces are given within inside the drawing, starting up are finished and with regards to those grid traces, with using any sort of method in the absence of any kind of grid lines. Inside the base line, the mark in the side of the most road and all grid lines are marked around on the boundary wall. Next, installation of reinforced concrete, pile, cut of pile, starter bars, pile cap, stump, ground beam and ground slab is also important to support the structure of the construction and is used in the foundation of the building. But in this case of floor slab, it is the substructure of the building plays an important role in ensuring that the construction works will be well and perfect. Scope of study. Civil engineering is a specialty related to the design, planning, construction and management to infrastructure such as roads, tunnel, bridges, airport, railroad, facilities, building, dams, utilities and other projects. Civil engineering is a related area that deals more with the practical aspect of a project. Civil engineers learn some of the same design aspect as civil engineers and the aspect of on-site project management. At the educational level, civil engineering students primarily focus on more analytical design work and focus on their careers as design professional. Basically, this requires taking a variety of rewarding engineering and design course as part of 4-year accredited degree. Civil engineering training focus primarily on construction procedures, methods, costs, schedules, and human resources management. The main concern is to deliver the project on time, on budget, and in the desired quality. The difference between a civil engineer and a is that civil engineering students take both a basic design course and a construction management course. Civil engineers need to plan construction measures, supervise the installation of components, and inspect the building upon completion. Civil engineers work with architects and engineers to design buildings and solve problems in the field. Civil engineers also produce report detailing the cost, feasibility and estimate of the project. Although not as much as structural engineer, the use of computer-aided design software is common. Civil engineering combine project management skills with mathematical knowledge. The health of the construction industry in each country determines the demand of civil engineering.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nusha Mimi binti Sharnizam. My metric number is AF20016. So the objective for this project is to gain knowledge for the construction method used in the constructions for a building. Second, to be able to follow the steps of building structure from start to end. Third, to evaluate the site and environment in general for the purpose works, include the implications of previous use. Last, to discover change in the earth's and environmental conditions that may occur naturally or as a result of the construction project. For this project is about the substructures constructions process from start to finish, which is from the foundations to the slab. The substructure is the portions of a structure that is built below the ground level, which is the transfer of loads from the superstructure to the underlying soil is the main characters for the substructure. As a result, the supporting soil is in direct touch with the substructure. Next, the foundation is the primary reasons for the stability of any structure, which is the right foundation design and construction give a proper surface for the development.
Hi, my name is Alia. So today I would like to explain about the site clearance. Site clearance is the removal of all accumulated waste from an area to ensure that it is free from any hazards, obstacle or unsightly mess. For the importance of site clearing, if proper site clearance does not commence, this can decrease the quality of the build and even prove to be dangerous for construction crews and visitors alike. For the application site clearing, to allow other remedial treatment or demolition works of any machinery or equipment, unwanted surplus materials and rubbish from vegetation and surface soil. For procedure site clearing, we have three, which is first clearing and grubbing, second removal of existing structure, and three is topsoil. For the method site clearing, we have two, which is use bulldozer for topsoil, second use excavator for clearing and grubbing. For setup platform of piling machine, a piling machine is used to drive piles into a soil to provide foundation, support for buildings, bridges, and other structures. For the speed and method of extraction will depend on factors including the ground and water condition, how long the piles have been in the ground, the pile section and length, and lastly the driving method and hammer weight. For procedure of piling machine, it can be difficult to install piles in sensitive location due to the large soil vibration and disruption. Certain locations require minimal disturbance. Therefore, we specialize in mini piles or micro piling. Mini piling works by digging into the ground with the appropriate apparatus, lowering the concrete pile into the hole and pouring concrete gaps between the pile and the earth. For the setting out pile position, setting out pile position is done to locate the position of structure parts as in the detailed drawing with geometrical construction. The importance of setting out pile position through interpretation of the information given in the drawings, independent checks for readily detecting any errors and well-recorded methodical approach of future reference. For the design of setting out pile position, we have two, which is usage and for which the structure is used is depending by accuracy of setting up pile position. And the other one is leveling, is all the excavation works should be done accurately to the level that have been given in the drawing. This is the procedure of setting up pile position. First, setting out pin to setting up the pile position with measured, and level and track flag was tracked the piling into position. The spoil can be removed from the operator side so an establishment of an exclusion zone can be met was ensured. The auger position over the setting out pin. The mast into a vertical orientation was adjusted. The mast was attached by using the level. The auger was repositioned precisely over the setting out pin by using the combination of tracking and sleeving. Next, the sighting bar was set up at the right angles to the pile position. The reference pin was measured out in order to be used as a positional checks during the casing installation. A final check was made when the auger is positioned accurately by rotating the auger. The rig was slewed to the side at least 2 times to ensure the machine is not rocking. A final vertically check prior to commencing boring was complete. Commence the pile construction and the number of pile and time of boring were recorded. Next, for the method of setting out pile position, we have two, which is setting out pile position by coordinates and the checking vertically. Next is installation of reinforced concrete pile. A process for installing piles for supporting a structure upon the earth, including the steps of driving a first pile segment into the earth, a desired distance from the structure, and aligning a second pile segment upon the first pile segment. Next is design installation of reinforced concrete. We have two, which is precast concrete pile and cast in situ concrete piles. For the function and importance installation of reinforced concrete, we have no spy generator on site, unaffected by groundwater, cost effective from a deep foundation, speed of installation, piling unaffected by groundwater, suitable for small to large complex projects, capable of accommodating simple compressive loads of complex combined loadings. Next, for the procedure installation of reinforced concrete, this is the procedure that we need to follow. So this is the continuous for procedure installation of reinforced concrete. This is the application installation of reinforced concrete, which is poor quality of upper soil layers when we have expensive soil in construction site to resist active forces, to resist lateral loads, and bridge abutment and piers. For the method installation of reinforced concrete, we have the sonic logging pipes installation. Is the cut-off pile. Pile cut-off level is the actual level at which the concrete piles are placed underneath the piers so they can retain the same level. For the function and importance cut-off file, we have two. First, to develop the pile cage rebar into the pile cake. The second, to remove the weak or poor quality concrete. The procedure of cut-off pile. First, the site survey was done to determine and verify prior to excavation works of platform level and survey works for the cut-off level. Second, excavate the soil until the depth level as required by design drawing. Third, compact the soil using hand roller and clean soil around the pile. Fourth, marking line around the pile. They cut the pile about 10 cm inside by sawing. Next, hacking the pile head using the hand air compressor. After finish pile hacking, clean and remove the concrete decrease. 6. Put the gravel and check the level and compact using hand roller. 7. Start pouring learn concrete. After about 30 minutes, spraying water on top concrete as curing. And lastly, chip the top of concrete. For the method cut of pile, we have 3. Method 1, pile cutting by jackhammers. Second method takes hydraulic pile breaker, and lastly, a light pile breaker method.
Hello, my name is Nur Saimati Sukiti. My matrix number is AF200068. So today I want to present about my pipe in project report. So first of all is starter bars. The definition of starter bars are rebars that are cast into concrete to concrete, a lap connection and reinforcement continuity across a equal joint or construction joint. The function of starter bar is used to resist tension and shear process at beam to column and column to foundation junctions. The principal reinforcement of the existing concrete member in which starter bar insert indirectly perpendicular to the starter bars. The method used to design starter bar is to have them emerge on the concrete. The next one is pile cap. The definitions of pile cap is a thick slabs that are used to connect a group of piles to sustain and transmit column loads to the piles. Pile caps is a concrete block placed on the top of pile or a set of piles to transfer load from the structure to the pile of pile caps. The function of pile cap is to contribute a single load equally over the pile group and thus over a greater area of bearing potential, to provide the necessary combined resistance to stresses up by the superstructure and ground movement, to literally stabilize individual piles, thus increasing overall stability of the group. And last but not least is to tie the piles together so they can act as a unit. The next one is STUMP. Definitions of STUMP is the most basic and relevant footing for providing vertical support and transferring building weight to the foundation. Stumps are used to support timber framed houses and they are the most cost-effective option right now. The functions of STUMP is to support the building's weight and convey it to the foundations. Next is development of STUMP materials. Traditional STUMP were made of hardwood, but eventually rot away with time, leaving the floor unsupported. Treated wood case, concrete, and galvanized steel columns have now taken their place. To ensure proper dimensions and spacing, this must be developed by an engineer. Last but not least is the method of to install the STUMP. First of all, fill the hole with concrete. Number 2, set up the floor frame of ropes. Lastly, bolting the stumps to the frame and the concrete. Next is ground beam. The definitions of ground beams is the structure of a beam located on the ground that is made of concrete and is typically used for low-rise superstructure. Reinforced concrete beam generally support walls, joints, and other structural elements at or near ground level, resting directly on the ground or supported at both ends by piers or known as ground seal. The function of ground beam is to link the piles together and to provide a platform for further superstructure construction, to support brick or block work, or to form a permanent shelter to the edge of in-situ concrete floor slab, to support building walls, joints, and etc. The development of ground beams material. Ground beams are often made of concrete and are typically built in-situ for low-rise buildings. However, because this is a time-consuming procedure, the use of precast concrete ground beams has risen. Last but not least is the ground slab. The definitions of ground slab is slabs that are poured directly into excavated trenches in the ground. They are completely reliant on the existing terrain for support. The foundation must be strong enough to sustain the concrete slab. Next is the function. Number 1 is to reduce the pressure on the column and stump. Number 2 is as the main base on construction to ensure that the construction will done well. Number is to support column and stump. Number 4 is to create the easier job on floor finishes. And number 5, to receive the load from the building. There is 2 conditions of ground slab that can be designed, which is non-suspended slab and suspended slab. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shazana binti Ma'ruf and my matric number is AF200065. So, in conclusion, being the initial activity in every building project, the success or failure of a construction project is determined by the earthwork operation. Starting with the undergrowth, removing vegetation is usually the first step in the clearing process. The undergrowth is more readily cleaned, allowing more area for machinery and labor to clear bigger plants like trees. Planning, scheduling, and managing earthwork activities are critical components of a well-running construction project. The amounts of clearing, grubbing, and stripping as well as the quantities and location of the cut fields must be understood in order to design a schedule. Lastly, we gain a lot of experience in problem solving during the construction process and all of the process.